Mr. Wagner. Mr. Wagner, who's been on our board for the ACO since the beginning. Every now and then he'll call me and say, "Hey, I got an idea for you." And I would say, okay. And, you know, some of the ideas I'm not so sure about. Then he said, you know, look, you guys, I know some people in the insurance business. All you guys need disability insurance. And you're being screwed on rates because you can't get, because you're not a captive. You don't have enough, you know, if you're buying individual policies, how can you get it better? And so this is like, this little segment here is how again do we provide value for our clinics, for our clinicians. And Paul has got this tremendous, his group has a tremendous background in private insurance for various industries, especially healthcare. And he's going to show you a product. I haven't seen all the details, but he had insurance companies fighting for this bid.
That's right.
So I'll let you go ahead.
Thank you. Lowentritt, for having me in. Again, I'm sorry for my hoarse voice. I've been coughing with a sinus cold, so I'll try to do my best. I speak nationally for disability to doctors around the country, and I help design programs for ACOs, IPAs, risk retention groups, and the like. And the offer that we have is a disability, long-term disability. Does anybody in the room have disability? Show of hands. Yes, disability, long-term disability. Okay. For the females in the room, female physicians, raise your hands. Okay, well, when we get the female physicians, they have incredible rates, we'll show you that. Females pay a lot more for disability than males do. What I'll do is, I'm just gonna show you some of the affiliations I belong to, and I'll send this out, Dr. Lowentritt, I'll email this to everyone.
Everyone's got it.
Okay.
This is behind tab 5 in your book.
Gotcha, so I won't waste time on that. Basically, what I see from an ACO standpoint, what's your goal, Dr. Lowentritt? Reduce expenses, mitigate risk, and increase profits. So we have a couple of programs that we deliver to ACOs on the disability side, on the life side, and a few other programs. Whether we bring them to you, I can give you some ideas on some programs that can really reduce your bottom line on a lot of different areas. But today we're going to focus on the disability. When I say what do ACOs want, you know, what keeps doctors up at night is I deal with thousands of doctors around the country. I help design a program like this. It insures 135,000 doctors nationally. So it's a really neat program. But what I see with doctors, you mentioned it earlier, doctors want to keep independent. They want to be competitive. Their incomes, as I see them, a lot of them are clamoring, hey, we're making less money. So how can we stay independent? Well, we got to reduce the bottom line and increase our profits. And hopefully these programs will do that. And then taking advantage of the ACO size. This program will actually in the future will help attract, retain, reward doctors coming into it. The ones that are here offer some things that you can't get off the street. So when we say, you know, that's what I mean by leveraging the size, and then providing a valuable benefit that you just don't see everywhere. And a smaller practice can't get their hands on what I'm going to show you. So what have we designed with a long-term disability plan? The first thing is it's guaranteed issue, meaning no medicals, guaranteed acceptance. Doesn't matter your health issues, and they'll pay on those. Its own occupation definition, subspecialty. So it's based on if you're a surgeon, if you're an ENT, an OB, whatever he or she is, it's based on that definition of disability. There's no offset of any individual coverage. So if you have 10,000 or 15,000 on your own, you could layer this on top. We can make it a tax-free benefit with no offsets.
So like that's really key because all of mine, they all add up and subtract, and
Yep.
I have 3 different policies, and I don't actually know what my benefit is.
Okay. So what I'll do if you engage my firm, the KeyArx Group, I will, for any doc that wants, you may have been buying policies like most of my doctors have since your fellowship and residency, and you kind of got a mishmash of companies, maybe Northwestern, Guardian, Principal, Standard, Monarch, depending upon Paul Revere, whatever you may have. And what I can do for you is I can analyze those programs. I have a group up in Maine, and we did an analyze of a couple of the let's say, guys over 55 range, they were paying for things in their policy that they no longer could move forward with. So, you know, it's always not a huge deal. I might say, hey doc, I can save you $150 for this rider that you can't use, but to your point, I can help coordinate what you have and let you know, and how to make things tax-free, which is the key. We have, in this program, we have a retirement benefit, which is really exciting, and I'll describe how that works. And this is the typical offer that I see on the left with a small practice. Maybe that small practice can get $3,000 or $6,000 a month of benefit. In this program, we've secured up to 10. If you like the program, I have limits where I can get up to 25,000. It's just dependent upon the incomes. So without having salaries, I just had names and specialties. Without having salaries of the organization and the members, I just got an offer based on 10,000, but this is very, very attractive. The retirement provision, what this does, it will provide up to $5,000 a month on top of the $10,000 a month if you become disabled to continue to fund your retirement plan. Have you ever heard of that? Kind of cool, right? Shake your head. There you go, I'll give you 20 later. So, the retirement provision, what it is, the assumption is this. I'll give you how it works. You have a 45-year-old physician. That doctor is, let's say they have a 401k profit sharing plan, and let's say they're putting in $60,000 a year into the plan. Assume the rate of return is 6%. Well, if you're funding your retirement plan, and you have $500,000 in the plan, and you're putting in $60,000 a year plus interest, guess what? You're gonna have about $3.8 million at the end of the rainbow. That's what you're gonna retire from. But if you're 45 years old and you become disabled, all those $60,000 contributions stop, and guess what? Your retirement plan is devastated. So people don't realize it. Disability, it's a huge issue for doctors. You guys and gals are money machines, so this continues to pay you in the event you can't work. So let's say that example happens. If you become disabled, you're getting your $10,000 a month. This retirement provision will continue to drop up to $5,000 per month into your retirement plan, so you'll have that 3.8. One more time, kind of cool, right? All right. And this is for females in the room that, if we had some female doctors I was looking at, maybe you could share this with the female docs. But females pay anywhere from 30 to 40% more than males because they cause more claims. So guys pay a lot for disability, but females pay a heck of a lot. On life insurance, females pay less because they live longer, but on disability, they cause more claims. So we can get the $10,000 a month benefit, $5,000 retirement rider, that's $180,000 of tax-free benefits. God forbid you're disabled. And we locked in a price of $223 a month of cost. So for those of you who have disability, you might appreciate this, you might not, but I'm gonna put a value on it. These are the rates for the males. That's that $223 rate, the $2,677 rate annually. In the middle here is what an individual plan would cost. So I'm just citing out a 50-year-old, but as you can see, a 50-year-old male would be $9,200 per year in cost for disability. And I have, if you notice on the left column here, I have all male and female locked in at $2,677 for that benefit. So proportionally, it's crazy inexpensive. And on the right here, you see the savings number, but you can see even the 30-year-old, it's 33, upwards of, the older you get, because the rate's locked in and it goes up for the individual plans, you're upwards of 80% reduction in cost. So I often get a lot of, let's call them more mature doctors that I work with, let's say 58, 60, 62 years old that want disability and say, Paul, I can't afford it. And this is, we've locked in the rate for you. Females, it's the same thing, I just put in for your package. On the second column, females it shows just that you pay more, and it's even a better value for the females. The last thing, disability, this is something that I've been through over 50 disability claims. I've never had one denied. Disability, it's a needed thing. Again, I say you guys and gals are money machines. If you had a money machine, printing money in the basement, would you insure it? Well, you're making high incomes, and it's hard if you become disabled to replace those incomes. Well, disability, we've had, like I said, over 50 claims in 28 years, never had one denied. And what I do is I've lined up with a law firm, a national law firm across the country that just files claims, and I help get those claims paid. Every company today, whoever has it, everybody's trying to sneak out of claims, and there's a lot of gray areas, there's a lot of contractual things. So it's very important to have the right people behind you. And I've had groups like yours. I had one trustee of a large 550 firm group, and one of the trustees became disabled, and he just basically said, "Oh, anytime you want me to use as a reference," but he goes, "I'm glad we had you on the team." So he was thanking me for that. So anybody could sell this stuff, but to design a package for a group like this and be able to deliver it and do it at a high level. Typically, the last thing I'll end with, and I'll stay within my time frame, am I doing okay? All right. The last thing is, as an ACO, if you move forward with a program like this, insurance carriers will find you very attractive. What they asked me, I got the Hartford in this case, because they know me and my track record. And with Dr. Lowentritt and Brian Wagner brought me in here, and I said, guys, this is a good group, they want your business, but going after other programs, whether it's guaranteed life insurance, whether it's a national dental program, whether it's discounted med mal or workers' comp or auto or BOP policies, or 401ks and fees and long-term care and voluntary products, all the carriers are gonna ask me, what programs do they already have in place as a group? What's the delivery system as a group? What are they doing? So you can get significant bottom line savings for all your practices, but on average, if I can come into a practice and reduce those expenses 30, sometimes 40%, those are bottom line dollars for you guys and gals. And I'm not suggesting that we do all these. My firm, I could show you guys how to take advantage of it, but by implementing one program like the disability, you'll become more attractive to the other carriers of the world. Okay, so thanks for your time. That's all I had.
Thanks, Paul.
Any questions? Let me know.
Yeah, I just wanted to make one comment. I've worked for you guys for 5 years as your Medicare person on the committee. I've enjoyed it. And Dr. Lowentritt has put me in some very interesting situations trying to help out. I've never come to you with any insurance idea or anything else. I don't know how in God's green earth you can decide in 10 minutes whether or not you want to buy a disability policy, but what you can do is maybe put Dr. Lowentritt or somebody else in a committee, and we can come up for an offering for you all, which you can decide to accept or not accept.
Mm-hmm. And I can, Brian, to that point, if I get the green light from the committee, I have all the ages, I don't have the salaries, so if you can tighten up the salaries.
Right, we were able to get them the information for all the doctors in the organization, with their ages, and we just put in a generic salary number by specialty, but we're able to get a more definite, offer on this, if we wanna move forward.
And what I can break out for everyone is based on your age, and when we get that information, I can give you your actual, customized sheet and say, hey, this is what it would be for you on the individual market versus this. But those rates, they'll adhere to those rates. It can only get better if the incomes are higher.
So, from what I gather, if you're 65, you're not eligible.
You are, and thank you for saying that. Let me go back here. Great point. So if you are 65, you are eligible for benefits. I can get benefits up to 70. So I have a 65-year-old. The only problem is the benefit period goes down after 65. So if you're a 45-year-old, you got benefits to 65, 50-year-old to 65. When you're 65 years old, you only get 30 months of benefits. As you get older, 67, 68, it drops to maybe 24 months. So, for any of those who fit in this category, I would get the length of payment. But even if you're 65, you got that 65-year-old would get, don't quote me, I think it's 35 months or something. I'll get you the grid. But it goes down after the 65-year-old, but you still can get benefits. Where if you were in the individual marketplace, it's not available. You can't get it. And if you could get it, it'd be through the roof. You wouldn't do it. So to spend $2,600 a year, if you're still working, you still can wind up getting 2-3 years, 180,000 tax-free benefit. That's still a good deal, and the older you get, the odds increase with disability.
Great, thanks so much. We can bring
Yeah,
that up.
other quick question, this is only for docs, what about physician extenders like nurse practitioners? Is that
Yes.
something that would be?
Great question. We can extend it to the nurses.
Nurse
The nurses
practitioners.
love this stuff, the nurse practitioners, the PAs, and even the staff. So I can carve out different offerings, like doctors getting 10, staff maybe getting 5 or 4. So the answer is yes. And once you do this, the other specialties or the other programs really, some really good stuff. But the answer is that the definitive yes.
So we'll bring this up at the executive session again, or at the next board call, whether to proceed, but I wanted to make sure everyone had the presentation while we're all, in one room once a year. We're gonna transition over to our Care Journey, presentation.
Thank you all.
Thanks, Brian.